So you probably already know from the title of this video, TCL is officially our second favorite TV brand out there when it comes to quality and just having the most in gaming and features, and even to an extent, even higher refresh rate. So, Samsung has been our favorite brand for quite some time now, including as well as Sony, but Samsung has actually been our favorite brand when it comes to TVs, especially for gaming, which is why we buy the TVs for, is we just love to game and see how the quality is for each individual TV from each individual brand. Now, that's not saying that LG, Hisense, or Vizio or whatnot, that's not to say that those brands are bad by any means, because they truthfully are not, and there is absolutely a lot of LG fanboys out there, and as well as Sony fanboys out there, but there's actually a good bit of people that love Samsung, and as well as TCL, and Hisense as well. But the reason why TCL is our second favorite brand, like I mentioned, their quality of TVs is what I'm trying to say, is honestly almost as good as what Samsung offers. Like, if you look back at last year's TCL QM8, which is the TV that we currently got in our game room, that TV blew us away when we first got it. Like, brightness on it was insanely good. You also got awesome local dimming that gives you nice black levels, and I've even watched YouTubers do comparisons between a QD OLED versus an LG G3 OLED, and comparing the Hisense U8K and the TCL QM8, and honestly, the TCL QM8 was holding its own. It was pretty darn close to what the G3 was actually looking like, and I've heard that the G3 was one of the top 2 or top 3 best looking TVs from 2023, and that, I believe that's honestly true, because the G3 was a legend. It was a legend of a TV. But TCL having nice features, nice higher peak brightness, and to an extent, honestly, the QM8 also hold its own with HDR highlights that pop, and I've never seen no TV look that insanely good with HDR highlights, and that's actually what kind of gives us a little bit excited to see what this year's QM8 is going to actually be like, because it's going to be pretty much an upgrade over the current QM8 that we have. Now, TCL released a QM7 instead of a Q7, which last year's model was a full array. That is why that they called it the Q7 only. But this year TCL took its TV lineup up a notch with another additional, TV with better specs. And they basically got, this year, they got the Q6. I accidentally touched my headset there for a second. They got the Q6, which is a budget option of a QLED. Then you got the Q6 Pro, which is actually a step up over the regular Q6. That's going to give you better brightness, better colors, and better gaming performance. Then you got the QM7, which is a mini LED, and it's practically the same as this year's or last year's QM8. I don't know why I said this year's, but the QM7 is practically the same as last year's QM8, which is what we got. Then you got this year's QM8, which is supposed to have more local dimming zones, more higher peak brightness, and I even think that the HDR is supposed to be even brighter, and more pop is supposed to happen in HDR highlights, even though last year's QM8 actually still holds up incredibly well, still to this day. So, TCL is incredibly a good brand. I honestly like them. When it comes to both Hisense and them, I would pick TCL any day of the week. And I've heard Best Buy's even said that they are a great brand, especially they are the best out of the two that have budget TVs like Hisense and them. TCL is definitely the best out of the two. And honestly, they do have more gaming features and such. Now, Hisense is now starting to get awesome gaming features, and that is why I am very, very excited to see what the U8N, I was about to say the Q8 for a second, but that is why I'm excited to see what the U8N holds up in terms of picture quality, gaming performance. It's supposed to have more gaming features than what our U8H currently has, and we will be getting that TV most likely in late August or early September. So we are going to be finishing our Sony X90L, which you probably have heard on one or two of our previous videos. We are going to be finishing that TV in just a week or so. But when it comes to getting the Hisense U8N and this year's TCL QM8, I'm pleasantly excited. Like, I can't wait to see how much better that the Hisense U8N is from our current U8H, and I can't wait to see what this year's QM8 TCL holds up over the last year QM8 that we currently have. And honestly, I think, like, I know I said it hundreds of times that we were not going to be purchasing like more TVs to review, but it's kind of really hard when you really think about it, because we want to have something new to try out, and it's one of our most popular topics that we do on this channel, like TV reviews and such, is just one of the most popular topics that people are very, very interested in. So it's been really, really tough to even not consider getting a new TV for quite some time, because people just love that about our channel, because it's just one of the most popular things that we talk about on this channel. But honestly, I have a good feeling that starting in 2025, we probably won't buy anymore, because this year will probably be the final year. And I know something can still change. And you're probably going to say, well, you've said that a couple times before and it's not changed. And I totally get it. Like I stated, it's just really hard when TVs is definitely one of the most popular topics that makes people view your channel, and it's one of the most important things that us as a consumer absolutely likes, and we always want to keep trying out something new, seeing how much better it gets, and it's a really tough, situation, because we just like to see how much better that they're getting, what's the gaming performance going to be, and then we like to make a review to share with our audience that watches our channel. But honestly, it still could very well be not happening. But honestly, I think we probably may stop this year after we get the Hisense U8N and the TCL QM8 2024 edition. Because honestly, like, I love TVs as a consumer, as what we are. And they are just insanely awesome. I love picture quality. I just love, like, all these manufacturers do. And they do great. And like I said, that's one of the most popular topics that we talk about on this channel, that just gives people into subscribing and watching our YouTube channel. And it's just enticing to people. But with that being said, though, TCL, when it comes to them and Hisense, they are our second favorite TV brand out there, because they're almost identical to the quality of what Samsung has. And better. They actually have better price points. So you're actually getting, like, what we spent with our QM8, $1,200 for the 65-inch. That was a freaking steal. Like, a TV with awesome brightness, probably so far the best brightness in 2023, and having great black levels, also having still really good higher up contrast, also having great gaming performance, and having great colors, having great local dimming that almost thinks that you got an OLED. Like TCL has really killed it last year in 2023. And the QM8 last year blew us away. Even coming off from our favorite type of TV panel, which is a QD OLED from Samsung, even coming off from a QD OLED panel, we were still impressed. We were still impressed with last year's TCL QM8. But this year's QM8 is probably something we're going to get around the holiday season, Christmas time, because if we get on a leasing for the U8N in September, then we're going to have it finished by the time Christmas gets around. And then we're going to get that bad boy. And let me tell you, it's going to be that good. Because honestly, with last year's QM8, that still holds up incredibly well. Even comparing to OLEDs, this year is going to be even more better. And I know you TCL TVs fans out there, is what I meant to say. You TCL fans out there, or just TV enthusiasts out there, are going to be very, very excited to see what the review is going to be. Because we do got a review for you once we get that in the upcoming months. But it's not going to be for some time, though. Because like I mentioned, it's probably not going to be until close to Christmas time when we do get that. But stay tuned in, because you probably are going to want to see how good that the 2024 version QM8 TCL TV is actually going to be. And you probably do want to stay tuned in for the Hisense U8N, because the Hisense U8N is even a step up from the U8K and especially our U8H in terms of contrast that Ratings has finally done a review on. They haven't done the review for the QM7 or QM8, but the QM8 2024 edition is actually supposed to be getting reviewed from Ratings.com here soon. They've actually got it unpacked, and they're starting testing right now, because if you go to their website and you type in the TV and their models, it'll show main discussion, and you'll see marks of like 1 through 8, and it'll start out with 1 purchased product, and then freaking like 6 being the review, and then 7 or 8 being the final review. So if you go to Ratings.com, you can find out where they're like the process of where they're at with individual TV, if they're just getting ready to test, or they're working on the review or the final review. But the QM8 2024 edition should be coming up in the upcoming few weeks, and I cannot wait to see how it's actually going to be, and then we get it later on down the road. So, just wanted to make this video for you guys, but yeah, TCL is our second favorite TV brand out there, and they are killing it with awesome quality that is almost pretty much like Samsung quality, but for a cheaper price point. And in some cases, even better than Samsung. Like brightness, local dimming, black levels, you name it. And having, when it comes to gaming performance, the exact same in the gaming universe. So, TCL is really killing it these last couple of years. And this year, I cannot wait to see what the 2024 QM8 is actually going to look like. So, that's going to pretty much wrap it up for this video. So, hope you enjoyed this video. If you could, smack that like button. Subscribe if you're new to this channel. And we will be sure to keep you posted with more content being uploaded in the future like this. And let us know in the comment section down below, out of the two brands of Hisense and TCL, the two budget brands, which is your favorite out of those two? Do you like Hisense for what they offer, or is TCL your favorite brand out of the two because of what they offer? So just let us know which of the two budget brands is your favorite, whether if it's Hisense or TCL. But TCL is our second favorite brand of all time, minus from Samsung and Sony being number one. But that's going to pretty much do it. Tech and gaming reviews. Rate, comment, subscribe, and we will see you in the next video. Peace.